Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Good morning. Thank you so much for starting your morning with us. Today is Monday. It is September 11th, and we're going to be talking about all the ways that not only San Antonio, but the nation is mourning this day in history. But before we get to that, did you get some rain this weekend?
I did. Welcome back.
Thank you.
I was
out of town. And as you can tell from my sinuses, the East Coast weather was not nice to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, the weather was nice to us this weekend.
There you go.
I mean, if you can handle a couple of triple digits. But we did get some rain Saturday night, Justin, which was nice, and hopefully some more later this week.
We're hoping. There's some chances in there. It was nice Saturday night. I sat out on the back porch and just listened to the rainfall. It's a sound we don't hear too often around here. And yes, we are going to get a few more chances coming up. I first want to start with the forecast temperatures today. It is going to be cooler up across the Texas Panhandle. Highs up there could be in the mid 70s. Why is that? There is a frontal boundary. This is the front we've been talking about. Now, it's not necessarily going to blast through South Texas. In fact, it probably pulls up stationary, so it's not going to give us a big cool down. But it is going to be around most of the week, and that helps us slightly with some rain chances, and it brings temperatures down slightly as well because we've been in the triple digits for quite a while now. 80 degrees right now in San Antonio, 80 in New Braunfels, 79 Seguin, 77 Bernie. There is a bit of a feels like number this morning as humidity has surged back in. That's also helped to create some of those morning clouds you see there in the distance. So our weather headlines today, we've had 18 days straight of 100 degrees or higher, believe it or not. That streak should end today. It's going to be close, but it should end. We talked about the small rain chances with that frontal boundary this week. We'll detail that for you. And plus, we'll talk about Hurricane Lee and where it may make landfall coming up a little bit later this week. For now, though, we'll toss it over to Steven now and take a look at that morning traffic. Good morning, sir.
Hey, let's get a look here around town because things are pretty quiet from what we're seeing at the TransGuide cameras, but we are starting to spot some problems in and around the Alamo City. Now, 90 at Loop 410 is still a pretty quiet shot, but overnight there was plenty of construction that was slowing folks down, and 281 at Grace in the north and southbound lanes look to be pretty steady. But we want to get you to our map. I-10 eastbound at Frios Street, we did have a pretty serious crash that was slowing down a few folks out there. That has since cleared out, so we have a better update to report. But when one thing ends, another one begins. We have to take a drive over here to 410 eastbound at Vance Jackson Road. Another serious crash reported. Earlier, it was reported as a minor crash, but KSAT has now updated that to a major crash. And you can see a little bit of that buildup behind me along the eastbound lanes of 410. Let's be on the lookout for that and hope for a better update soon. Now, the wide view of the map, things are still pretty much have dwindled down. A lot of the problems that we saw earlier are gone, but we have new ones that have popped up. I'll continue to watch roads closely, but there's also plenty of road work taking place. Scan this QR code. Takes you directly to our KSAT traffic page. There's a full list of all the closures on our website. A lot happening this week, so plan your commute ahead of time. Max, Sarah?
Thank you, Stephen. Well, people in San Antonio marking the anniversary of 9/11 one step at a time.
That's right. They are climbing the top of the Tower of Americas twice in honor of those who died.
Katrina Weber live there. So, Katrina, what is the mood like?
I think the best word to describe it is reverence. Everyone here walking in with thoughts of what happened 22 years ago today on their minds. Let me let you look and listen in. You can hear Amazing Grace playing in the background. People walking. This started about 10 minutes ago with firefighters leading the way as they start to climb the 65 flights of this tower. They're going to do it twice so that they can match the number of flights that New York first responders climbed back on that day 22 years ago. We have some people who were not first responders but wanted to do it anyway. That's a lot of the people you see coming through now are just doing this on their own because they wanted to also honor those who lost their lives. Of course, there were 343 firefighters, 70 police officers, 9 EMS who died on that day in New York, not to mention the people who died in the attack on the Pentagon. And so all of those people on the minds of people doing this climb here today. Some of them are actually wearing those memories on their chest. People wearing badges with the names and pictures of those first responders who died all those years ago. The interesting thing is that a lot of the people here are too young to even remember. Some of them not even born when this happened, but they still feel the impact of what this day means and what this event means. Reporting live at the Tower of America's downtown, Katrina Weber, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Katrina. And for so many Americans, the morning of September 11, 2001, it's a distant memory, but for others, it is a constant pain.
Their stories are ones we cannot and should not forget. ABC's Derek Dennis shares some of them with us.
Last night, the tribute in lights shining upward during a test hours before the official tribute to the victims of the World Trade Center attacks 22 years ago today. Robert Gray worked for NORAD that day, monitoring U.S. airspace. He visited the World Trade Center site last night.
As we walked into this area, it made me start to weep.
2,753 people died in Lower Manhattan that day, and just this weekend, the remains of 2 more were identified by the medical examiner. 40% of those lost are still unidentified.
We saw this plane flying at a very low altitude, extremely fast, but was so low I could read on the fuselage the word American.
Joe Pfeiffer was the first fire chief on the scene. His job sending firefighters in to save lives, including his own brother, Kevin.
I ordered him, as I ordered many of my other fire officers, to take their unit and go upstairs to evacuate the building.
Kevin died in the collapse of the towers, but many others were saved by the men and women who rushed into those buildings, knowing they might not come out alive. James Brosey, president of the Uniformed Fire Officers Association, lost his father, a fire department lieutenant who responded to the scene. He died just this year from a 9/11 related cancer. 341 members of New York's fire department have now succumbed to ground zero related illnesses.
Unfortunately, the exposure of that day and the days that followed during the rescue and recovery efforts have really started to take its toll. My brother was also in the collapse at the time. He has some other debilitating side effects from that exposure as well.
For Robert Gray, reflecting at the site last night, the lesson 22 years later is this:
We need to be ready for anything.
The testing of remains all these years later is part of a solemn pledge to keep identifying victims for as long as it takes so that the families of as many victims as possible can have closure. ABC News Live will bring you coverage of today's remembrance services throughout the day. Derek Dennis, ABC News.
And here's a look at today's 9 at 9. Today marks 22 years since the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil. 2,753 people died in Lower Manhattan on September 11th. In 2001, the hijacked plane attacks reshaped American foreign policy and domestic fears. Commemorations stretch from the attack sites at New York's World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and Shanksville, Pennsylvania, to Alaska, where President Biden will give his address later today.
The death toll still rising in Morocco's deadliest earthquake in more than 6 decades. At least 2,100 people killed, thousands more injured. The 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit the country on Friday. Rescue teams continue searching for any signs of life. Some aid teams from other countries standing by, ready to help out.
The impeachment trial of suspended Attorney General Ken Paxton enters week 2 this morning. The first week of the trial ended Friday with only 4 prosecution witnesses taking the stand in the first 4 days. So Paxton attended the opening hours of his trial last Tuesday, but was absent the rest of the week. He is not required to be in attendance during the trial. You can watch the live stream of these historic proceedings. Just head to KSAT.com.
Today marks day 12 of the manhunt for prison escapee Danilo Cavalcante in Pennsylvania. Hundreds of police officers joining the now nationwide hunt for the convicted killer, who authorities say was spotted over the weekend with a new clean-shaven appearance. A $20,000 reward being offered in connection to his capture.
The Federal Reserve is expected to hold interest rates steady at next week's meeting, but will they raise rates before the year's end? Some Fed officials prefer to raise rates too much and then cut them later. Other officials worry higher rates could trigger an unnecessary downturn or more financial instability. Analysts say projections at the end of the month will probably show another increase is on the table.
All eyes on the latest inflation figures. U.S. investors looking for some stabilization in the stock market, which has wobbled in recent weeks. The hope is that consumer data isn't so high. They hope that the Fed leaves interest rates higher for longer, but hikes could be coming in the coming months. Investors also watching the producer price index and retail sales numbers out later this week.
Artificial intelligence is the focus of a summit in Washington, D.C. this week. In attendance will be the top tech execs, including Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, whose company is reportedly working on a powerful new AI system. He hopes it will be ready next year. People familiar with the matter say Meta plans to start training the new system in early 2024.
The new iPhone expected to have one significant change when it's unveiled tomorrow. The iPhone 15 rumored to ditch Apple's Lightning charger in favor of the USB-C charging station. Now, this could help streamline the charging process across various devices and brands. However, still unclear if the shift to USB-C will happen for all new iPhone 15 models or just for the new Pro devices.
You may soon be able to Uber your chores. Yes, Uber is reportedly working on a service to rival TaskRabbit, which connects people who need to get something done with local workers. So it's unclear what types of services will be available and no word on a possible debut. That's today's 9 at 9.
All right. Speaking of 9 at 9, it is almost 9:09. It is 80 degrees out. Hey, did you watch any of the football this weekend?
Go Cowboys!
All right, what a night last night. Cowboys fans, University of Texas fans, UTSA fans, all glowing this morning. The Cowboys shutting down the Giants on Sunday Night Football. RJ and myself talking about the game later in the show, but before that, it is September 11th.
A 9/11 remembrance ceremony and breakfast was held at this school in Cibolo this morning. What it meant to this community and the importance of teaching 9/11 to students next.
Welcome back. A first responder ceremony and breakfast being held in Cibolo, all in remembrance of the victims of 9/11 and honoring the military and first responders who ran towards the chaos.
Tiffany Huertas joins us live with what this event means for members of the Cibolo community. Good morning, Tiff.
Good morning. It was a powerful and moving event here at Legacy Traditional School in Cibolo. Students participated in many ways. Some read poems, others were singing, everything tied to 9/11. And we also were able to speak to community members about today's event. Now, the event started around 8 this morning. Several people from the community attended. We're talking students, staff, and community members filled the gym, plus first responders and the military community. Today began with a Patriot Day ceremony that included the Pledge of Allegiance, national anthem performance, a moment of silence, and remarks from students and school staff. We spoke with members of the community who say it's important to teach students about what happened on 9/11.
Respect this country, respect the flag, and you honor those who died for our country.
History will repeat itself if you don't teach about it. So it's being able to keep our children abreast of what's going on and the things that have happened, so it will allow them to see where we have come from over these 22 years.
After the ceremony, first responders were invited to a breakfast. The school says they hope to continue to do this event for many years to come. And this was a very special moment to see kids as young as in pre-K participating in this morning's event. Coming up on the noon show, we're going to hear more from first responders. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Tiff, thank you so much. Now, what a powerful morning, to say the least. Do you guys remember where you were on 9/11?
Yeah, 8th grade classroom. I was at a Catholic school, and the sisters had it on TV. We were saying prayers. It was really emotional morning.
I was a freshman in college, but remember it very well. It's crazy that it's been, what, 22 years?
22 years.
Pretty incredible. A lot going on today with regards to that. It is warm this morning. It's going to be warm this afternoon, too. We're watching a frontal boundary that could make a difference in our forecast as we go forward, and we hope that it makes a difference because it has been such a rough stretch. 74 days now, 100 or above here in San Antonio. Obviously, this is a record that's going to stand for a long time. As you look at second place, it's only 59 days. Was yesterday our last 100-degree day? Possible. I mean, as we get into September, it's hard for us to get up to that number, but I'm not going to say, never going to say never here, because it's possible we could briefly get back up to 100 here over the next couple of weeks, but I doubt it. I doubt it. In the stretch of 100-degree days, we're at 18 now. We've been at 100 or above the last 18 days, and that stretch is enough for third place. But here's what's wild about this stat is that we've had 3 stretches this year that rank in the top 5. I mean, just again, I hate to keep using the word incredible, but here we are in 2023, the summer of 2023, rewriting the record books left and right. Today we're forecasting 98, so we'll be just shy of that mark, I think. 99 in Elmendorf, 99 in Floresville, 97 Canyon Lake, 94 in Kerrville, and we'll see mostly sunny skies. Now, what about rain? We did get rain on Saturday. It was great. Didn't pick up a ton at the airport, but enough. And as we look at the forecast today, it keeps a lot of the activity off to our north and west. So this is 5 o'clock. That front is up there along I-20, Midland, Odessa, over to Abilene, down to San Angelo. That's where we could see some bigger storms erupt. And there could be a complex of showers and storms. So as you know, these group together and you get an area of showers and storms. It stretches quite a distance. Now the question is, will it hold together all the way down to San Antonio? And I don't think that it does. Most of the models want this to calm down or die down before it makes it here. So this is 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Still shows a few showers around Kerrville, and I wouldn't be surprised if we got a shower or two here in San Antonio. I just don't think we're going to see any significant rain. And then as this front continues to kind of drift in our direction, does it make it through? It may not. Probably just kind of stalls out just north of us. It'll cool us down a little bit, and with this front around as it pulls up stationary, we'll still get some opportunities for some isolated showers and storms. It's just not going to be widespread rain, and we're not going to get a big cool down. And I know that's not exactly what we want to hear, but that is the situation that we're in. And the rain chances this week, we think 20% Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, maybe 30% as we get into Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So it steps up a little bit by the end of the work week and into the weekend. But again, not big numbers here. We're not expecting just a ton of rain. When we add in what we saw on Saturday, we're still about an inch below average for the month. And for the year, we're at 14.24, about 8 inches below average for the year. And as we go outside for you right now, mostly cloudy, 80 degrees at the airport. Heat index is 85, Seguin 79, heat index is 82, Bernie 77, feels like 78 there. And as far as the satellite picture goes, we do have some morning clouds. More clouds to the north, and some of those clouds will try to seep south today. So we'll call it mostly sunny to partly cloudy. 76 in Kerrville, 78 Fredericksburg, 78 in Austin. Mostly around 80 here in San Antonio right now. And the forecast for today takes us up to, again, 98 degrees. It will be cooler up in the Texas Panhandle behind that front. 75 in Amarillo, 84 in Lubbock and Wichita Falls, but everyone else still feeling a lot like summer. And I wish I could tell you that some of that cooler air is going to leak down here. It's just not in a big way. We'll get cooler temperatures, but not the 70s and the 80s. We stick in the 90s this week. 95 Tuesday, 95 Wednesday, 97 Thursday, 94 Friday and Saturday. Again, small rain chances each and every day, nothing big.
Okay, it was a small chance on Sunday night or Saturday night.
Came through,
right?
Came through. Yeah, we can only hope that we'll get more situations like that because this summer is just put us in such a deficit. We need something to change.
Cruel summer.
Yeah.
Thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin. Just about 9:20. It is 80 degrees out.
When we come back, how businesses around Canyon Lake are reinventing themselves to keep profits coming in despite record low water levels.
And we are taking a live look out at the Flight 93 National Memorial. Obviously, this is a very emotional situation going on over there. And we're going to be live streaming it too. So head to KSAT.com. We have that live stream available. We know that there are events, memorials going on, not only here in San Antonio, but across the country today, remembering the lives lost on September 11th, 2001. And of course, remembering and honoring those heroes who ran towards the chaos, trying to save as many people as they could. We'll be right back. Good morning, welcome back. So despite the extreme heat and the record low water levels, some businesses around Canyon Lake, they are still calling this summer a big success.
So while struggles do exist, Avery Everett shows us how businesses found new ways outside of the water to find that success.
Darren Hammonds designed this home with customers in mind.
I just like to take care of people.
But this weekend, Equinox Inn,
It's probably a better view outside.
at Canyon Lake, is sitting empty.
This is one of 5 or 6 Friday nights in 6 years that we're off. And it's just kind of a, well, what do we do with our time now?
Hammond says September is one of her slower months. But she's able to sit at ease, knowing this summer she had success.
June, July, and August were all our best months outside of 2022.
With record-breaking heat and ongoing drought, business owners across Comal County were concerned about what tourism would look like for summer of 2023.
Even a week after Labor Day, there's still some activity out here on Canyon Lake, but the water levels here are actually the lowest on record. I mean, I'm standing at the water's edge, and as you take a few steps back, you can see it's nothing but dry rocks and soil. And businesses say, well, that's a hard selling point.
So many of our boat ramps are closed because the boats can't enter the water safely. So that has put a strain on some of the outfitters that we refer people to.
The Chamber of Commerce says it learned a lesson during summer 2022's dry spell, and that was highlighting the Canyon Lake community away from the lake itself.
I think what it's done is it's really pushed people outside their comfort zones out here to kind of look for other things to do. A lot of our business is rooted in small town, good, old-fashioned, just small business.
But this is a little library area.
To Hammonds, what's to come next is still unwritten.
People are waiting longer to book. And is it because of the weather? Is it because of the heat? Is it because of the economy? We don't know.
But she's going to keep making the bets and keeping the lights on, ready for her next round of guests. Avery Everett, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Avery. Time now, 9:25, 81 degrees.
More ahead on GMSA at 9, including a troubling trend San Antonio police are seeing involving young people and stolen cars.
Plus, what a weekend if you're a Cowboys.
Go Cowboys!
University of Texas. UTSA fan, RJ. Joining us in the next half hour, talking about all of the excitement, the aftermath of this weekend's sports.
Okay, we are taking a live look at the Tower of America's 9/11 Memorial Climb. Everyone is making their first climb. They're doing 2 climbs in honor of in honor of all the people that passed away on 9/11. Our Katrina Weber is live out there. She'll have an update for us at noon.
And still pretty cloudy out there. We're starting with some clouds this morning. I want to take you back to this weekend on Saturday. We had some storms move through, and this is a great picture coming from the Churchill game. This was Madison at Churchill at Helota Stadium. It was 21-21 tied, and going into OT, the moment that the clock ran out, they sent everyone out of the bleachers, under the bleachers, due to the lightning. And so it did affect some games Saturday night. The rain was great, though. It really was fantastic. And this was sent in by E. Morse. We appreciate the picture. That's a great shot. It's always hard to catch lightning in the moment, but that's well done. As we look at rain chances this week, there are some very, very small chances today, but more so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We're talking about a 20% chance, and then we bump it up to 30% chance Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Nothing on there jumps off the page. Nothing that says we're going to get some good heavy rain, but there's some opportunities. There's some hit or miss stuff over the next 5 days or so. Our KSAT forecast today, noontime 90, and then we should be up around 98 this afternoon, just shy of 100, which we've been for 18 straight days now. So hopefully we can say goodbye to the triple digits and just deal with some 90s this week. Down into the 80s by 9 o'clock, 87 at 10 p.m. And very quickly, we got to talk traffic. There's a quick look at TransGuide. Everything good there at I-35 and in Burbank. But at 410 and I-10 there near Cherry Ridge, we've got a crash reported. That's slowing traffic there on the eastbound lanes of 410. And there's another crash just up the road there, I-10 northbound, near De Zavala, that's causing some backups too. So a couple incidents there you want to keep watch out for if you are traveling in that area. Max?
Thank you, Justin. As you probably know, today is the somber anniversary of the 9/11 terror attacks. In the attack on the World Trade Center, more than 300 firefighters sacrificing their lives trying to save as many people as they could. CNN's Jason Carroll reports new data showing nearly the same amount of firefighters have died years after, all of 9/11 related illnesses.
I think we just miss them. He was just always present in everything we did.
Jim Brozzi says not a day has gone by where he has not thought about his father. Lieutenant Joe Brozzi, a veteran of the New York City Fire Department for more than 3 decades, died this past February 3rd after a long battle with stage 4 lung cancer. Doctors gave him months to live after his diagnosis in 2015. Brozzi's name, one of 43 added to the FDNY World Trade Center Memorial Wall last week, which commemorates firefighters, paramedics, and civilian support staff who died from post-9/11 illnesses. It's the second largest group added to the memorial since it was created in 2011, when 55 names were added. The number of lives lost from post-9/11 illnesses on the wall now stands at 341, almost equaling the 343 FDNY firefighters killed that day. Brozzi says his father was at ground zero on 9/11 and remained working there day in and day out. So too was New York City firefighter Daniel Foley. Foley pledged to stay at the site until his older brother Thomas, also a city firefighter, was found. Foley ended up finding his brother's body 11 days later. He continued to help with the recovery efforts for months. He died from pancreatic cancer in 2020. He was 46.
He was diagnosed with 9/11 cancer, and we talk about the fact that 9/11 not only killed Uncle Tommy, but 20 years later, killed Daddy.
The message from firefighters and their families, years after one of the darkest days in U.S. history, first responders are still suffering and dying as a result of their service.
The other thing is, it's the people who aren't dying but are sick, and they're not living, but they're alive. And no one measures that loss.
That was CNN's Jason Carroll reporting. Now, exposure to dust at the World Trade Center, it's been tied to heightened risk of cardiovascular disease among firefighters who responded to the scene. Respiratory disease and thousands of cancer diagnoses have been linked to those toxic pollutants released during the attacks.
Top local stories this morning. A San Antonio police officer taken to the hospital after his police unit collided with a stolen car. So the suspects inside that car were just teenagers. As Camelia Wattis reports, police say this is just the latest instance in a troubling trend they're seeing.
I just heard a loud bang, boom, and what's going on?
That loud boom was the sound of a stolen car crashing into a San Antonio police car. This woman was staying at the Studio Suites Hotel just off of I-10. When she looked out her window, she saw several juveniles running and officers chasing them.
I just seen the 2 juveniles running, and then I seen the cop like right behind them stop, but I couldn't see if it was a taser in his hand or a gun, I don't know.
But he was calling at them to
yeah, like stop.
Authorities say those 3 juveniles who ran out of the car were eventually caught, and the officer in the police car involved in the crash was taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
It was a helicopter. He was just going around everywhere, and then another one, a drone came down. It's like, oh God.
A sergeant on scene says the Raven, or drone team, was following the car because it was reported stolen. Helicopters tracked the stolen car to the motel. And when that officer involved in the crash responded to the scene, that's when the juvenile driving the stolen car crashed into the patrol car.
And then I have kids, so it's even a scarier situation.
Chief Probation Officer Jill Mata deals with juveniles who are referred to the Juvenile Probation Department.
I mean, stolen cars have always been an issue, but we are seeing an uptick of young people stealing those cars.
Based on data from July of last year to this year, there's been a 281% increase of juveniles in Bexar County referred for unauthorized use of a motor vehicle or stealing cars. Mata says the kids they see involved in these kinds of crimes are usually working in a larger illegal organization.
We would surmise it's because they're working with an organization to have those cars resold.
Camelia Juarez, KSAT 12 News.
In other news, the FDA has granted the locally based company Xenex disinfection services authorization for its Light Strike Plus device. We've been talking about this device for years now. The decision expected to drive up demand for the company's germ zapping robots significantly. Remember when they first came out with these, we had video of it and it was really amazing. I think it was used in some of the NFL locker rooms.
Yeah.
The ZenX devices, they utilize high intensity, broad spectrum, ultraviolet light, reducing potentially deadly pathogens on surfaces of healthcare facilities. Now, they've seen a surge in interest, obviously, since COVID-19 came around. A broad spectrum of venues, including restaurants, auto dealers, airports, and like we've been talking about, sports stadiums, they have used them. I think we've covered a couple of restaurants locally that in the peak of the pandemic, they were jumping on board too.
Very interesting. Okay, driver's license offices around the state are finally planning to reopen today after being closed for more than a week. The Texas Department of Public Safety began changing their computer system back on September 1st, but they underestimated how long it would take to upgrade. So anyone who had an appointment between September 5th through the 8th and hasn't gotten rescheduled at this point is asked to email Texas DPS customer service with your name and preferred driver's license office for help.
Also happening today, San Antonio Police Chief William McManus and Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez, they will both be at a District 4 Public Safety Town Hall. It's scheduled to start at 6 p.m. This is the St. Rose of Lima Catholic Church on Marbach Road. If you can't go, we do plan to live stream all of the event on all of our KSAT platforms. Time now, just about 9:39, and it is already 81 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9 a.m. Sarah?
Go Cowboys!
Was it a happy Acosta household this weekend?
Yes, I even stayed up late to watch. I was like, oh, they're up by 30 points. I'll go to bed.
I like that. All right, still ahead. RJ joining us in just a few moments, talking about the big matchups from the weekend. A lot of success for our Texas teams.
We're going to look at 10 at De Zavala. Justin mentioned this. Justin, is this northbound? Or, excuse me.
Northbound.
This is northbound.
Yep.
This is northbound 10 at De Zavala. You can see that some of the lanes are blocked off and that exit ramp is blocked off there. It looks like first responders are on scene along with a tow truck getting that incident cleared up. We'll keep you updated throughout the morning. Okay, I love Zoo Cam, so let's check in with the flamingos. You know,
they're hiding in the water. Usually they're closer up to the camera.
I know. They knew that we were.
We got it.
Oh, look.
Oh, no.
The geese showed
the
up.
Geese are showing up. That's why. Oh, look, they're coming up.
That is the flamingo corner. You better get off my corner.
These are the alpha flamingos, and they're letting them know.
All right, I got $20 on the flamingos.
Oh, for sure. Actually, the geese are pretty aggressive. Have you ever been to Woodlawn Lake?
I have.
Woodlawn
They'll chase
Lake.
you.
Oh my gosh.
I was
terrified of those geese.
In honor of football weekend, I would give the geese like minus 150 odds on a one-on-one fight.
They got a low center of gravity. So.
There you go. We're breaking it down over here. This is great.
They're thicker. They're got more power.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Speaking of the shortest person here, go to the tallest person here, Justin Horn.
Yes.
Looking like a third grader in timeout. How are you today?
It's because he's in the chair.
I can identify with the flamingos, okay? Yeah.
Team Flamingo.
I'm doing well. Cloud cover out there. You just saw there on the Flamingo Cam, there's clouds, so that's going to help us with temperatures a little bit today. And I think we're going to stay under 100 for the first time in 18 days, which is fantastic. It's
such a win.
Big win. I want to take you out to the tropics still first. We got to talk about what's going on with Lee. It has been a powerful hurricane for some time now. It did weaken a little bit over the weekend. We've also got Tropical Storm Margot in another area that has a 60% chance of development coming up. But this is way out there. We've got some time to watch it. Lee is the main concern right now. It's a Category 3 hurricane, still a major hurricane, winds at 120 miles per hour, gusting to 150, and it's moving northwest at about 8 miles per hour. Now, you'll notice it's well north of the Virgin Islands. It's not affecting any land, and the latest track continues to turn it north just west of Bermuda and then takes it near the East Coast, but not a hit here with a Category 1 storm, winds at 80 miles per hour. Now, this could continue up into parts of Maine and Canada, so that'll be something to watch. At that point, it will have weakened some, but still would pack a punch. This is not going to make a direct hit, I don't think, on the northeastern part of the country, although they should still watch it. It's still going to kick up a lot of surf there. 80 degrees right now here in San Antonio, mostly cloudy. South-southeasterly winds at about 9 miles per hour. And as we look at the heat index, this is what it feels like outside when you factor in that humidity. A lot of places are in the 80s right now. It's going to be a sticky day. We saw humidity increase overnight, and that means that those heat indices will be there for most of the day. I think we clear out some 90 degrees by noontime, 92 at 1 o'clock. We top out around 98. Yes, below 100, just barely, but below nonetheless. Southeasterly winds 5 to 15 miles per hour, then into the 80s tonight. 91 at 8 p.m., but 89 by 9 p.m. with mostly clear skies. As you look at the big picture here, it looks kind of ominous, right? We've got a lot of showers across parts of North Texas, showers and storms across parts of Kansas and Colorado. Some energy there. I wish it would move in our direction. It's trying to, but it's not having a whole lot of success. These showers you see here are trying to work down into the hill country, but kind of dying down as they do so. So we may see a few sprinkly showers, Junction, maybe down to Kerrville here over the next couple of hours, but nothing here in San Antonio. And as we look at the forecast, those showers die down, and we'll probably see some more showers and storms develop along a weak frontal boundary this afternoon. This is 5 o'clock. And then that may develop into a complex of showers and storms, so a cluster of good heavy rain from Midland over to San Angelo, back up towards Abilene. Once again, this dies down as it moves south and east, and so we don't get much of anything here. This is tomorrow morning. The front is on our doorstep, but at this point it's really weak and kind of starts to stall out. It may not even make it here. It'll be close enough to bring us some small rain chances next couple days and bring temperatures down ever so slightly, but it's not going to move through and bring us that blast of cooler air that we would love to see. This is 5 p.m. tomorrow, and it shows just a few light showers in the forecast, and then again this pulls up stationary. So it'll be around most of the week, and that means we have some small rain chances and temperatures come down ever so slightly, but we don't really boost rain chances until we get into Friday and Saturday, and at that point that front actually does try to push through and maybe enhances our rain chances just a little bit and brings temperatures down into the low to mid 90s by the weekend. Guys.
Thank you, Justin.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Because his team just can't figure it out. All right, speaking of teams that can figure it out, how about them Cowboys?
Ooh, yeah, didn't get to see too much of this one because I had to go to bed early, but I got to say, I woke up and I was impressed by this. You watch here early on, big-time special teams play here on the return, the block kick, and here we go, Max. Cowboys running away with this one.
Quite literally running away there.
Yeah, I was shocked.
Okay.
Yeah.
The 40-0 score is shocking to look up. You have a lot of those fluky plays. And nothing, I mean, look, you're there at the right place, right time. You prepare to be in the right situations. Love Tony Pollard, big fan. Zeke had a fumble yesterday.
Yep.
Yeah, Tony Pollard, third round pick for my fantasy squad.
Wow, third round. I took him first round.
Yeah, we're not Cowboys fans. So, like, he kind of flew under the radar.
Yeah.
But I got to say, they looked clean. Speaking of clean, they could not keep the pocket clean for Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
And I'm not out here doing that I told you so. There's been a lot of hype about this Giants team in the offseason.
Yeah.
I mean, they added Darren Waller, yes, but even he was dealing with an injury yesterday.
Yeah.
The Giants line could not keep this Cowboys line, this Cowboys defense clean. And Mike McCarthy, first game making play calls, he seemed like he did a pretty good job.
Yeah, I mean, Dak didn't have to do that much. I mean, we saw right there that the defense kind of carried the weight here. And I think that's the biggest thing moving forward here is that Cowboys defense is really, really good. They added Stephon Gilmore over the offseason. Micah Parsons, you see right there, probably going to get a big-time extension this upcoming offseason. But, yeah, this defense, really good as long as they stay healthy. Deron Bland there, stepping up, making some big-time plays. Cowboys, man. Okay.
1-0.
Put the league on notice. Here we go.
We're also going to talk about this when we talk about University of Texas. It's week one. Like, it is one game. Everyone needs to calm down. It's not you're probably not going 17-0, and if you do, congratulations, save this clip.
Yeah,
a team that did not have a great week one, Texans, but I will say, kept it close.
You know what? What I liked about the Texans is that they were competitive. We saw some of these rookies get action. Obviously, we're looking at Lamar Jackson there for Baltimore. But on defense, Will Anderson Jr. had himself a nice game. C.J. Stroud, his debut here. And I like the enthusiasm from DeMeco Ryans, just kind of getting the troops, getting the guys ready to go. Unfortunately, J.K. Dobbins out for the year for Baltimore. But that's
another Achilles tear for J.K. Dobbins. I empathize. I also tore my Achilles twice. So I get it, J.K. okay. You will be
just
back.
like JK.
You will be fine.
Just like
I think his salary's a little higher than mine, but you know,
Probably.
he also went to Ohio State. I went to Penn State, so you know, you see. But big shout out to the Texans. Sarah and I talked about them earlier in the offseason, saying we don't know how many wins they're going to have, but they will be a fun team to watch, which they were.
Yeah, they were competitive yesterday, hung in there with the Ravens. Obviously, Baltimore has playoff aspirations this year. All right, moving on to the college game now. And
are you
look,
okay? I
shout
thought
out
you were going to let me intro.
Dude, look, Keldon's there.
No, Keldon's there. Look, it was a high-profile San Antonio game.
I'm going to go cry in the corner.
I was going to say, are you okay? You had high
fine.
hopes.
You know what? I'm fine.
Texas State grad.
Texas State alum, yeah. Shout out my Bobcats. Okay, look, this was a competitive game. This was a competitive game. Look, UTSA is good. They were expected to compete for their conference championship. Texas State was a 13.5-point underdog, obviously coming off a big win over Baylor. But the Bobcats were in this thing. Frank Harris.
Beautiful toss.
My guy here. I love Frank Harris. He gutted out this win for them. He went out for a little bit.
Injuries.
First half, came back second half, and really kind of carried UTSA to this win.
Were you at the game?
I was there.
Okay,
yes.
what was the vibe like? It was
great. It was great. You know what? I love the fact the atmosphere was great. It wasn't like a split down the middle crowd, but there were a lot of Texas State fans there. It made it just a lot of fun for both fan bases. But credit UTSA, took care of business at home. Good win there by Frank, Jeff Trailer. Shout out to him.
I didn't know TJ Finley was 6'7".
Yeah, he's a big kid. Yeah, big guy. Yeah, he missed some throws early on. That could have been a bit different, but whatever. Whatever. We move on. We're on to Cincinnati.
On to University of Texas. Honestly, the biggest win I can remember of really the last 6 years.
Yeah, big win here for Coach Sark. I mean, going on the road, Nick Saban does not lose home games like this to non-conference or any home games really for Bama. But Quinn Ewers put his name in the Heisman race here, and UT kind of dominated this game. I felt UT was kind of in control from the start.
It was really impressive, and it's funny, the fourth quarter was kind of null and void because they pretty much had it, and like you said, start to finish, they were dominating. I mean, when you're playing with the defense like that, it looks good. All of the University of Texas fans that were texting my phone, blowing up, because it's the joke of Texas. We're back.
Yeah, here we go.
After this, it gives more credence to
Yeah, absolutely. Again, big time win here on the road as UT takes care of Alabama here. And again, like you mentioned, Max, one of the biggest wins that we've seen here for a long time for this program.
Now to a less fortunate Texas team.
Here we go. Justin, you want to
jump in here? Give us your thoughts.
I don't. I'm good. Thank you.
He doesn't. You're still wearing a maroon tie, I see, though. So I guess you still have some faith?
Yeah, a little bit.
Maybe not.
All right.
Hey, Aggies came out early, played pretty well. This game was going on the same time as Texas State UTSA, so I defer to Justin here. Justin said that they started out pretty well, and then the wheels kind of came off.
So we talked about this before, but the issue is A&M has all the money, all the NIL deals, and a top, not top tier, a top recruiting class perennially.
Yep.
So the fact that they're not getting it done, the call to get rid of Jimbo is just going to get louder and louder.
Yeah, frustrating stuff there, especially with a chance here to get a big win there on the road at Miami. But again, that's why they play the games. Moving on to the next week.
Thank you, RJ. Time now.
A lot of fun.
Just 9:53, 81 degrees. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Today, 98 degrees. That is below 100, a good number, and we'll see temperatures actually get a little bit cooler in the coming days. A little bit, not much, but a little bit, and some small rain chances each and every day this week. A little better shot late in the week.
We got 10 seconds left. Are we done with the triple digits?
I'm going to say probably so.
Oh!
Yes.
I'm going to say so. Yeah.
You heard it.
We're going to go with
right here. GMSA at 9. Justin,
see you
we're
back here,
done.